Holy smokes, everyone. This is a quick, urgent breaking news update. We have just got the latest CPI inflation data, and people, this is an absolute disaster. And we're seeing the markets react very, very negative to this. The markets are selling off rapidly. The stock market, bonds are selling off. Cryptocurrency is selling off even worse. And I've got some even more news to go over with what's going on with crypto right now. This is a very important update. You're definitely not going to want to miss this. So let's not waste any time, people. Let's get straight into it. Well, holy smokes, everyone. Look at this. Inflation barreled ahead. Breaking news at 8.3% in April from a year ago, remaining near a 40-year high. Now, a lot of economists were expecting that inflation would fall to just 8.1%, and now saying inflation has peaked. But people, inflation is still staying stubbornly high. You know what that means? More rate hikes coming, and this is spooking the markets right now. But let's break down to see exactly what prices are going to be hitting your wallets, what things are going to be more expensive, and what you may want to start buying now. And we're also going to get over all the action that's happening in the markets right now and what this means for the markets and how we can prepare for this inflation crisis that isn't getting better just yet, if this is the bottom in the markets, and should we start buying now? Let's dig a bit deeper. So listen to this, everyone. Core CPI. Now, this is what the Federal Reserve prefers to track, obviously, because it's lower. But this excludes food and energy, and was also higher than expected, rising 6.2%. So again, people, we've got core inflation, which the Fed loves because it's the lowest, is 6%, still triple its mandate. And we've got CPI data at 8.5%, quadruple the Federal Reserve's mandate. And we only have interest rates at 0.75%. So if you think rates aren't going to go much higher, well, people, you're about to get a reality check. Of course, what we've all been seeing, and this is really rigged, shelter costs, which comprise about 1/3 of the CPI, rose at its fastest pace since 1991. But guess what, people? They're saying rents are only up 0.5%. That is a complete joke. And again, this makes up a huge third of the CPI. And housing costs are up about 20%. Interest rates, mortgage rates are up, but they don't really include higher mortgage repayments in CPI. But mortgage rates, interest rates are double what they were in the low of 2020 when it fell to around 2.7%. The average 30-year mortgage rate is now sitting at 5.5%. So interest rates are actually up 100%. That's definitely going to hit consumers looking to buy a home, but that's not part of the CPI. And you know what's the biggest scam about inflation? They say, well, don't worry, guys. Inflation's great because then you'll get a pay rise and earn more. Well, look what's happening in reality. Inflation-adjusted earnings continue to decline for workers, falling 2.6% over the past year due to surging costs of living. So according to the CPI, wages are actually falling 2.6% in real terms because wages aren't increasing at the same pace of CPI. But remember, real inflation is at about 15%. So really workers are losing about 7-8% in real terms in their purchasing power and in their earning power. So for those wanting to know, the month-over-month gains were also higher than expectations, 0.3% for the headline CPI versus a 0.2% estimate and a 0.6% increase for the core. So the core increase is actually accelerating, which is very bad for the Fed, and that's why we're seeing the market selling off right now, which I'll get into in just a moment because we're hitting some very critical levels. Listen to this. These are the items that are going up right now. The BLS food index rose 0.9% in April. People, I just want to reiterate how much of an impact this is having on the middle class. Food costs are increasing 12%. And again, this is just numbers we're reading right now, but this is affecting real families. And we're going to see families have to make the tough decision because of this data. Should they pay rent? Should they pay food? Or should they fill up their car with gas? Adding to the worries is a continued rise in housing costs. Like we said, the shelter index is up 0.5%, but they're saying it's only up 5.1% on a yearly basis. Again, people, that's a complete joke. It's at least 20%. Now, what's been another big contributor to inflation is the car market. Used cars have been skyrocketing lately, and also new cars have been skyrocketing because of the chip shortage. So let's see what's happening with car prices. So used vehicles actually fell 0.4% on the month, but new vehicles rose 1.1%, and prices rose 22.7% and 13.2% for the two categories over the past year. So you're starting to get the picture, people. Everything that people need is skyrocketing in value, but the things people don't need is falling in value. Cars are up, energy's up, housing's up, food is up. But hey, don't worry, the latest iPhone is down, so there's no inflation. But look what's happening with this bird flu that's going on, and look what this is doing to the price of chicken and the price of eggs. And I've heard stories of farmers losing tens of thousands of chickens. So April saw the biggest price increases across the selected food areas. Chicken was up 3.4% and eggs surged 10.3% in just a month. That's right, people, in just a month, amid the bird flu scare, while bacon rose 2.9% and breakfast cereal was up 2.4%, ham prices were up 4.2%. And again, people, that's in a month. And with what's going on with Russia and Ukraine, we may start to see $5, $10 loaf of bread and $5, $10 for a dozen of eggs. So people, what this means is inflation is still stubbornly high. Now, I do think the rate at which inflation is going up is going to fall, but the Federal Reserve is still going to have to lift interest rates higher and higher to bring it back down to its target of 2%. Now, we have to look at the markets right now because things are getting absolutely wild. Now, if I bring up FTX here, the channel sponsor, we can see here, Bitcoin fell exactly to $29,000. And me personally, it's not financial advice. I did buy a little bit of Bitcoin today. I only allocated 10% of my cash, which I want to put in Bitcoin. Again, that's not 10% of my portfolio. That's 10% of the amount I want to put in Bitcoin of my portfolio. I did buy a little bit because I did say that, I'm looking to buy under 30,000. But guess what? I would not be surprised if Bitcoin falls to 25,000 or even 20,000. That's why I'm not going all in at the moment. Now, if you're looking for a safe and secure way to trade this volatility in the cryptocurrency markets, you can use my code MichaelCown to sign up with FTX. They've got over 6 million users. They are a safe, secure way to buy and sell cryptocurrency, especially with a lot of this uncertainty right now. You're going to want to use a well-known exchange. Instead of paying crazy high fees, you can actually earn cryptocurrency for every trade over $10. Again, that's code MichaelCown, link in the description. Now, if we go to the markets here, as I'm recording this, the Nasdaq's down about 0.7% and the S&P 500 and the Dow is pretty much flat. So it is bouncing a bit from the pre-market, but we'll have to see what happens at the close. Also, we can see here when this data came out, the 10-year US Treasury yield spiked from around 2.92% all the way up to 3.07%. And we also saw a spike in the dollar. The DXY index go up to 104, a new recent high. People, look what's happening with crypto right now. It's an absolute bloodbath. And this is why I don't invest in altcoins, because while the project may say they're going to change the world, unfortunately, we see a lot of promise and a lot of under-delivering with the altcoin markets. And it seems like every bull run, there's a new cryptocurrency in the top 10. So look at this, XRP down 18%. Cardano is now under 60 cents, down 15%. Solana hit $50, down 25%. But what I really want to talk about today is a stable coin, Terra USD. And this stable coin was in the top 10. But look at this, it's fallen 57% today. It is now 40 cents on the dollar. So that shows these stable coins aren't always safe, people. And we can see here, Terra, the cryptocurrency, it is down 95%. It's now $1.50 when it was $116. Look at this chart here, people. It's absolutely collapsed. And remember, this was, a cryptocurrency that was in the top 10. It was very well known. A lot of people were saying, it had lots of promise, but now it has collapsed. This is why you don't want to be hodling altcoins in a crypto winter. So everyone, I know what you're wondering, well, okay, what does all this mean in simple terms? What this means, everyone, inflation's still stubbornly high. The Federal Reserve is going to have to get more aggressive. We're going to have to see interest rates go higher. Again, I think the market has priced in interest rates at 2 or 2.5%, but the markets haven't priced in recession and they haven't priced in the Federal Reserve going above 3%. So if they do go above 3%, we're going to see a lot of volatility. It's not going to be a straight decline, but I do think we are going to enter a bear market in the S&P, and I do think we could see Bitcoin at 25,000, but this is going to make great buying opportunities, and we'll have to assess the data as it continues to come out, because things in these markets, as you know, can change very, very quickly. But everyone, what do you think? How low will things go? Is the worst over? Should we buy now? Let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.